So in continuation to the last class, we're going to look at modeling. Let's take this. So we already understood that. So modeling is all done at this content folder, and building of database will be handled in the catalog folder. Now what I want to say, please mute yourself. Okay. And before we go about creating the HANA models or HANA modeling, we understood that all these HANA models are going to get organized by using packages. Yeah. So I would like to create one package here. Say right click on the new, on the content folder. In the context, when you right click on this, you get an option called package. You can say 9 cubics pk something. This is a package we're going to deal with. Now what a package, as there's nothing under this. We can also create sub packages also. I can go to right click on this and say new, another package under this. So when you right click on the content folder, that will be the main package. So I would like to create a sub package under this package again. So what I'll do, I'll just right click on the package right here, say new, I get the option as package, select this. So it separates identifies the hierarchy of the packages with the dot here. So 9 cubics pk dot, I want it as models, and I want one more as joins something. Okay. So I just wanted to have two sub packages here. So under this models, I would like to create all the models what I'm trying to do. Okay. So so first what I want to do is I just want to just walk you through on the screen about creating attribute view, analytical view, and calculation. Just walk through so you get a feel of how these views are being created. So, but to demonstrate on this views to be created, so I'm using a schema called SAP underscore HANA underscore demo. That is a schema. And when I expand these tables, I see lots of tables here. So I'm going to use these tables for demonstrating the views, HANA modeling here. So first question is, assume these tables have been already replicated from a different source and stored in HANA bus. Whether I've used BODS or SLT, no matter it is, I have replicated these tables from a different source and loaded this into HANA database. Now, since these tables are not ready for consumption for the reporting directly, I would like to do the kind of modeling and slicing and dicing of this, and present the information in a present this data in a required information what my business user can consume. So I would like to leverage these tables and consume this data and convert it into more meaningful information for the business as part of HANA modeling. This is what I'm trying to do now. And now, but if you also want to practice with the same tables, normally the entire SAP training, all this HA100 or 300, this is all done on the schema itself. There's something called Shine content. There's some SAP education. Okay, if you get into this Google, and you'll have something called Shine content. Shine content PDF. You get this PDF here. You're able to hear me, right? I think if others are able to hear, if someone is not able to hear, please log out and log in again. Yeah. And this is the PDF here. If you just get into this PDF, this will tell you how to what all needs to be downloaded from service marketplace, what is it you need to install, what roles have to be assigned. So then you will start getting this schema and these tables available for you. Okay. So that is one. And once we set up this, you will have this schema and the tables. If it is Vasu system, by default you should see this schema available already in it. Okay. Now first let's understand this tables. What do we have? Then makes sense to go about building a model on top of it. So I have a table here called business partner. Let me just open preview. I have a table called business partner here. So here I mean to say, when I say partner, he could be a vendor or he could be a customer for me, because both customer and partner, vendor or customer, I would refer it as a partner. So I've got this table as partner information. Like for each partner, I have some unique ID, which is the partner ID. And I have another column called partner role, which tells me what kind of role is he doing, whether he's a supplier or he's a customer. So there's something like role which says 01 or 02. And I've got email address and then phone number, fax, web address, and there's something called address ID, and then name of the company, and nothing but name of my partner, legal firm, whether it's a private limited or what, public limited or what is it. And I also have some columns which says when was this created, who created this entry into this table, on what date it was created, and if there's any change, who performed this change, and what date it was changed to us. And in which currency does this partner deal with? Does this, okay, whether euros or USD or what it is. So this is my information in this. If you want to do some profiling, I can see. So total, if I just drag this, in total I've got 45 distinct values here. There are total 45 distinct partners. Yeah. And if I, sorry. If I take this role, there are two roles, 01 and 02. For 02, there are there are six partners with roles 02, and there are 39 partners with 01 as that. So total would be 45. Out of 45, there are six partners with role as 2 and 39 with role as 1. We can see the profiling like this. Yeah. And if I want to see about currencies, see there are 16 customers who who are dealing with the currency as euros, and 8 of them are with USD. Yeah, we can do the profiling here, and we can also, if you want to do some analysis and find out what is what, and then you can do this also. Yeah, so I've got this, but as per this table, I've got something called address ID here. Look at this, some number 34, 35, 36, 37. Now what happens is I have another table called addresses. Yeah, I have got another table called addresses, which has got address ID. And from this address ID, I'll be able to pick up city, postal code or street or building, country, region, all those stuff. And the validity from which date to which date this has been valid from. You can make it as time dependent or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. See, so you'll have referencing here. If you look at this business partner, here it says 34. If I go to this table addresses and see about 34, for 34 I see it as city as Waldorf, and it is DE, Germany, and it is region is EMEA, Europe and Middle East, yeah, and country is DE. So when I link up with the address ID, I'll be able to see what kind of city or what is a region or what is a city, country, region details I can get from this address table. Okay. Okay. Next, I have another table called products. Yeah. I've got different set of products. Each record here is unique because every product has got a unique ID associated. And for a given product, I see something called type code and category. What type of product it is, and what is the category of the products, whether it's a flat screen, notebooks, or I've got different categories of the products. And I want to see the name of the product. But for name, what they've done is, look at this. For they don't have the name directly here, but they have something called name ID. Yeah, they've got something called name ID. From this name ID, if I jump to a different table, that gives me the name of the product. So I have a table called sorry, text. One second. Yeah. So there is a table called utility text. Okay. If I just get into this table, so for example, here it says for this product, the name ID is one, right? If I go to this utility text table, that tells me for one, the text is notebook. So why did they maintain the name in different languages, different tables? They wanted to make it more note description more specific to a language. So what they've done is they've got a table here which says for one, for English, this is it. They can maintain say for the same one, for German, this is the language. So they wanted to basically maintain a text table with more of specific to a language. So this they've got another table like this here. And then again, you one more information is again you basically have the unit of measure of this product, weight or whatever it is. And then you also have something called supplier who actually deals with this product. So the supplier like 01 so and so so and so. But if I need to get the details of the supplier, again I need to get into partner, because my partner business partner table will have information about whether it is a supplier or a customer. If I go here, my supplier ID says so 000, right? If I go to my partner table for 000 so and so, I see the name of the company as SAP. So SAP is going to be the supplier for this product HT 1000, which is a notebook. Yeah. Like this, we can have the relation again across from product to partner, from the supplier ID, and from the name ID, I'm joining to this to our other table, which gives me in name of the product. Yeah. 1 second. The constants. Okay. Now next, I've got another table called constants. Okay. Let's say now I see the product type as PR, right? But I don't know what, now if I go to this distinct values, just get the type codes. I've got two things. One is PR and AD. PR indicates count of 105 products, and there is one product with AD, but just want to see what does this PR mean and what does this AD mean. So what they've done is they maintain the description of this in a different table again. The table called constants. If I go down, see D underscore, see there's something like domain and fixed value, language and description. Again, they are using this table because they want to maintain description in multiple languages. There's something called domain, like each domain, it says these are the fields of which part of it. So I'm only interested in the product type, right? So I'll say D underscore PR underscore type. So I'm just filtering only for this domain type. So I get for the product type. So I see with PR with German language it is PRODUK product, and PR with English it is product, and then AD is for advertisements. Here so now from the product table, when I basically get this AD, and if I go to this constants, I'll be able to get the name of that value. But here the names are maintained in multiple languages. Okay. So that's how I can, these are the tables where my product information is stored. Like there's one table called product, there's a table called text which gives me name of the product, there's another table called constants which is giving me information about the descriptions about my product type and all those. Others I'm fine. So these are the tables I've got. Okay. Next, let me get into the transactions. Basically, I've got two set of transactions, sales and purchasing. Now, let me deal with sales now. Again, I've got sales header table and sales item table. So do we understand what is, so these two would be your transactions data. I'll tell you, sales header and sales item. Header is what? It's a transaction data which is common across all the items in an order. Let's say your customer places an order. You can place for multiple items, right? So total value of the order is not specific to any item. It is the overall order value. So any information which is common for all the orders would be header, and information specific to each item of a sales order would be an item level data. Yeah. So now let me see this header table. So each in the header table, each record indicates one order, one sales order. And for a sales order, I would understand the date when the sales order was created and the date when the sales order was changed. And I get something, I get to know who is a partner to perform this order. When I say partner, in terms of sales, partner would be a customer for me. Yeah. In terms of purchasing, the partner ID would represent a supplier. And I know what is gross amount, total value of this order, net amount and the tax amount. So net amount plus tax amount would give you the gross amount. So from the gross amount, when you deduct your tax amount, you get to see the net amount. Yeah. Okay. Now if I still go to right, I have multiple things here. One is I have the statuses of the order, whether life cycle status, billing status, and delivery status. Life cycle status is like overall status of the order, and billing status is only about information about the billing, whether billing has been invoiced or not. This is about delivery status. But the life cycle status or billing status or delivery status, but they're just the keys. You get to see like X, N, P or something. I see, but I don't understand what does this mean. Yeah. So again, for all this kind of constants, I have another separate table I told you. So let me just remove this field. That is not PO. This is more of say D underscore SO, right? So you can say D underscore. So if you say D underscore SO, you see this as D. When you filter this with this domain D underscore SO underscore LC, which will be your life cycle, and focus on the English ones. N indicates new, P indicates in progress, C indicates closed, and X indicates cancelled. So knowing this, if I go to my order, when I see X means what? Cancel, new is new, and P is in progress, C is closed. So C is closed and X is scanned. That's how I understand the meaning of the orders. And same thing for billing status, I see I and P. If you go to this, you see this one, CF, you see something I and P, whether I indicate, I don't know, but I think we don't have something for, do we have a domain for this? I think I don't have it for type. Okay, let's not, yeah. See here, I have it. This is for the order delivery status. I got I and D. I indicates it is still initial and D indicates delivered. So if you see this, you see I and D. I indicates initial and D indicates delivered bus. For I and P, here it is. It is still whether billing was paid or not. I indicates initial and P indicates paid. So I need to refer to this domain D underscore SO underscore CF for billing status, D underscore SO underscore OR for the delivery status, D underscore SO underscore LC for life cycle status, and get to know the meaning of what is the status of this order. Yeah. Okay. And each record here indicates one sales order. Yeah. Now for each, now if you look at this partner information, say for example, a customer walks in and places an order, right? You would place for multiple items. For all the items, will it be the same customer, right? For all the items, customer would be same. So that's where I say partner ID is at the header level information. And we also have the date when it is changed, okay? And we also have something in which currency this transaction was done, yeah? And I get the date of transactions here. I'll take the change in date. Now, if you go to sales item level, which tells me for each order, look at this. In the header, I see an order called five and zeros. If you go to this item level, for this order 5 zeros, I see there are 10 items. So say item 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There are 10 items, and each item belongs to separate product. So if you look at this, when it's placed multiple items, each item is a separate product. So now product name is item level data, but for all these products were raised by same customer, so that is header level. So I just maintain it at the header level itself. This will be at the item level, yeah. So I've got what currency, what was the gross amount, what is the net amount, and what is the tax. This is for each item level. What was the total value of this item ordered, and what was the total amount tax, and then minus would be your net amount. And if you go to right, you see the quantity ordered also, because quantity is not at the header level, because quantity is always specific to the item what is being ordered. So what was the quantity, and I've got unit of measure, and then I've got something called item status here. Again, I something. Again, to get the meaning of this constants, again I'll have to get into constants table. Sales order item. Look at the I indicates item. Okay, this is the domain I have to use. D underscore SO underscore I underscore ATP. I indicates what initial, available, not available. IAN. Yeah. If I go to the distinct item status, what is item ATP? ATP is availability to promise. Okay, item ATP status. I just see only one, but what does it I mean? I get to see it. I indicates initial, A indicates we're confirming that it has been available, and N indicates this product is not been available. Availability to promise. Before you promise a customer, you check the availability. So what is the status of the availability here? Initial or not available or available? Yeah. So this is what the complete data we have. Yeah. And we have something called delivery date when this item was supposed to be delivered. And in the header level, I would have the date when the sales order was created. Yeah. Till here is fine. So basically, I'm looking at business partner, product, and the sales details. Sales header or item, all the sales transaction data. So did you understand this schema? What all tables we have and what? Okay, everyone is clear on this? Any doubts here till here? Okay. So you have a table called business partner. Yeah. Then you'll have to deal with address table to get the details of. So if I want the information of the partners, I might have to deal with these two tables. If I have to get details of the product, then I might have to deal with the product table, then text to get the name of the product, or to get the description of the product type, PR or AD, I might have to deal with the table called constants. Yeah, so all these three tables will give me information about the, or if still required, you want to know the supplier of this product, then I might have to use these two tables, this table also, right? Might be, I have to use. Because from the product, will have a part, I'll have the partner ID. From the partner ID, when I join, I get to see the supplier details also. I'll say these three would be the main information. There's an extra table. If required, you can use. And then we have got sales header, sales item, and then for this, you know about linking between header and item, and you get to see in the constants. In the constants, you'll have the table which basically gives you about different domains and the descriptions. Yeah, and from the header, I can link up to my partner. From the item, I can link up to my product. So do you all understand this? Because if you have to be really strong on the modeling, if you got to practice a lot, first of all, you got to know what, you should understand your data. Like on what data are we playing? You should understand the data, then it makes sense to do modeling. You're okay? Just ping yes. Just only respond. If there's anyone who does not understand, just respond. Otherwise, it's okay. Fine, right? Okay.
It is fine, sir, but a bit confusing also.
It's confusing also.
uh, yeah, because it's not one or two tables, so we are dealing with almost 10 tables in a single shot, and we are trying to discuss
No, no.
about all the tables. So
But these are pretty. This is not something new transaction. This is more in the general terms. We understand sales generally. Yeah.
yeah,
So they're simple. I've got business partner table which gives me partner details. From a partner, if I need to know the address, I need to get into the address table to know the city, country, region. And I've got a products table which gives me information about the products. For more name of the product, I need to get into the text table to get the name which is maintained in multiple languages. And I've got a table called constants which gives me pretty much information about different constants in the database design. I got sales header data which gives me information about every transaction of an order, every sales order, and this will be for an item, for each item of an order you would have another table called sales item level. In this I would get to see gross amount, net amount, tax amount and all this stuff. Yeah.
who placed the order and I mean, how much amount of the orders he has,
Yeah, exactly.
etc.
And so yeah, you will have this amounts at the header level as well as item. Item level will give me exact value at each item specific. And header level will give me
Uh,
consolidate for all the items, what was the order value, what was the amount and what, for consolidate about all the items. Okay.
sir, can you go to the Excel sheet which you mentioned in the tables?
Yeah, yeah.
So, can we understand that business partner is going to be a fact table for all dimension tables?
No, 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 don't get into that part now. Did you just understand the
Okay.
data in the tables? That's enough. Don't
So all these are,
yeah, don't worry about the vocabulary whether fact dimension. Just did you understand these tables first?
okay,
Yeah, you understood that, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Because all our modeling exercise will be based on these tables pretty much. So you got to be really good at this content. You should know what we have in these tables here. Okay, fine. Um, please logic between these tables. Logic, the nothing. The logic is say your business partner has got. Yeah. See, I have a business partner table, and this has got address ID. Now I can catch hold of the address, and then if I go to this address table, I can know the city, country and region of the partner. That is one set here. Then I got table product, which gives me information of the product, whether it is what type of product is it, category, all this. And like for the name, I need to jump into the text to get the name of which is in descript multiple languages. For type code, I need to get into a table called constants, which tells me I need to filter with this domain and see for my language for PR, it's product. And same thing for what sales header table. From header, I have the connection to the partner table with the partner ID, because for one order you would have one partner. I don't have product there, but in the item level I see a product information because each item belongs to one product. From this product, I'll be able to link up to my product table, and I get to know the item status here, which again can be more understood from the constants table. Okay, fine. Okay, if you want, you can just go through these tables. So I'll just take 5 minutes break and I'll join. Is that okay? 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah. I think in the systems where you've taken a connection, right? You'll have this schema. If you want to just go through that, just give me 10 minutes. I'll just join back. Okay. I'm just coming back, please. Okay. Okay. Please. The WASO system, right? Just connect to that and try to see the schema and then try to see the tables once. Analyze yourself. I'm just coming now. Yeah. Hello. So done, boss. Shall we continue?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I would like to build a data model on which my business users can do reporting on. Let's say they would like to analyze the business partner or products, or based on the region, city, country, yeah, or product type or product category, all this stuff, and they would like to analyze the sales figures. So they would like to analyze all these dimensions: business partner, product, region, city, country, category, type, based on the sales figures. And they also want to have the analysis on whether closed or open or different statuses about billing, delivery statuses, all those, they wanted those analysis on with those sales figures. That's the, one second. So they wanted this part of analysis, okay? Now let's see what is that we have to do now. First of all, identify the stronger entities first. Say the transactions, the sales figures would be from the transaction sales orders, right? Sales order. For this sales order, who is a stronger entity? One would be, means who is actually performing this transaction. One is your business partner and the other one is your product, right? So it means you're analyzing the sales figures, sorry, you're analyzing business partner and the product details by using the sales figures. So these are the stronger entities who are actually performing this transaction. So these will be considered as the stronger entities or nothing but dimensions. And you're using the sales figures, which are nothing but the facts. This will be your fact, nothing but transaction data. Till here, can we differentiate? Yeah.
Stronger entity means can we assume that
Sorry, your voice is low. Yeah, please.
stronger entity means can we assume the columns which are having the distinct
No, don't
values?
get into column. Just understand the business. When you say sales order, what customer walks in and places an order for a product. So we need to know, see, if you look at this sales order, you'll say who was a customer, who was the product, and what was the value. So without business partner, this transaction cannot happen, or without a product, this transaction cannot happen. So these two are the stronger entities, and they are interacting and then performing this event called sales order.
Okay.
So when business partner purchases a product, then there is an event called sales order. So these two are the dimensions which are actually performing this fact, or these two are the stronger entities which are performing this transactions. Okay. So these two would be considered as your dimensions, and this will be considered as your facts. Yeah. So I'm going to do this design in two cases. Implement this design or model this in two cases. One is case one, using analytical view straight away. I'm going to use the analytical view and implement this case one. Case two, I would use the attribute views and analytical views, both. So let's focus on the case one and see we're able to provide the reporting for the business here. So understood what you got providing with all these dimensions, with the partner, products, and all those tables to be joined, and provide him with all the kind of list of the fields what you want like to use for the analysis. Okay. So I'm getting into the models. I'm going to create an analytical view now. Say new. Look at this. I'm going to right click on this package. Say new. I would say analytical views. So when you say, because whenever you would like to involve measures, okay, or facts, it has to be analytical view. So I'm getting into analytical view, and then it's just the name of the analytical view. So I would say ZAN sales 001. Yeah. This is the technical name and description, and this is the name of the package. So package name always comes with an hierarchy. It comes with separated with the dot 9 cubics pk dot models, and this is the type of view. What type of view? Do you want to create attribute view or analytical view, or what? I wanted to go with analytical view. We'll come to this all this. Say finish. So it takes you to the canvas or a modeling screen where you can start modeling your analytical views. So when you get into this, you'll basically have two blocks. One is scenario block here and the details block. Scenario would basically give you the story of what this view is all about. And this will be and depending on what node you select, the detail screen would change. Okay. So in the scenario, if it is an analytical view, in the scenario you're going to have data foundation, star join, and semantics. Okay, and depending on the node what you select, your right screen would change here. Okay. Now what is each of this node does? Look, if you look at analytical view, this scenario is fixed. This scenario is fixed. You always have to have a data foundation node, star join node, and semantics node. Now if you look at this, now let's see the purpose of each of this node in the scenario. As part of data foundation, you basically list out all the tables on which you would like to build this model. Let's say you're trying to build an HANA model, which is an analytical view. Always, as part of data foundation, you specify the list of tables what we are trying to use in building this model. It could be one table, it could be 100 tables, it could be 150 to n number of tables. Fine, no issues. So as part of data foundation, we're going to list out all the tables what I will be using to formulate this model or to build this model, and establish a relationship between those tables. Say if I bring in 5 tables, I would have some relation or nothing would join those tables out. So as part of data foundation, we're going to list out all the tables what I'm going to use in building my view or in building my model, and establish a relationship between those tables by way of joining them. By joining those tables, I'm going to relate those tables out. And apart from that, we can also use data foundation when you want to do filtering of data also. For example, I take this business partner table. If you remember, I had two roles, business partner role like 01 and 02. Let's say I'm interested only in to read only those partners where the role is 01 only. Then I can apply a filter on the table saying as 01. So three things majorly. One is about listing out all the tables what to be used in creating this model. Establish a relationship between those tables by way of joining them. So when you're joining, you can start using those inner join, left outer join, right outer join, all those type of joins. There will be some new type of joins also we'll discuss, like text join, referential join, temporal joins. We deal with those. So it's about establishing the relation between those tables by way of joining them. And then if required, we can also go about applying filtering on those tables. Like it's similar to your where clause. When you say table, it's like you're reading all. When if instead of reading all, if you want to filter out certain data, I can apply filtering also in the data foundation. Then we have another node stars join where you basically simulate or implement your star schema view. When you say star schema, you'll have fact table at the center surrounded by your dimensions here. Yeah. You'll have fact table at the center surrounded by your dimensions and formulate a star schema. Formulate a star schema view. Then you go to, then there's another node semantics where you define, when I say semantics, it's like defining more properties of those columns, more meaning towards this column. For example, if you look at, I don't know how many of you are from BW, but if you know BW, you'll have different type of info objects like say characteristic info object or key figure with, we'll have special type of characteristic like time characteristic or let's say unit characteristic you have. Yeah. So when you look at unit characteristic, it's more like specifying that it is going to be a currency field or unit kind of field. Okay. When you say time characteristic, you're explicitly specifying that that's going to hold time factor data like date, month, year, quarter. But when it comes to HANA here, you only have attribute or measure, right? You only have it as attribute or measure. But let's say there is an attribute called ZCURRENCY. I would like to explicitly define more semantics to that column and say this is going to hold currency codes, or this is going to hold dates, this is going to hold years, this is going to hold months. I want to define more semantics and more properties to that column. Then I would basically go with semantics. That is what we do in this columns tab. And then you'll have a tab called properties where you can control the properties, different properties of the view. And then there's a tab called hierarchies. But see, the hierarchies tab in analytical view does not make any sense because we cannot create hierarchies in analytical views. We cannot create hierarchies in analytical view. Then there will be a tab called parameters or variables through which you can make your view definition dynamic, or when you want to make you want to pass in some selections to the view. Based on the selections you want like to have the view executed, then I can go with parameters or variables here. This is how we're going to have it. Let's implement our scenario where my user wants to have analysis on city, country, region, partner, product type, product category, product, and I want to see on the statuses of this order for how many were closed, how many were open in delivery, how many was paid up in billing, how many are not yet paid, how many, for all that, what is the total life cycle status of the order, how much has been closed out, what is value of it. So you would like to do all this kind of analysis now. So I'm going to add those steps. So I can just in the scenario block in the data foundation, I can just click this button to add the object. or in the canvas here. So I've selected the data foundation. So I just want to make the screen big, so I'm just collapsing this out, collapse this out. So I have the canvas here. Now I can start adding out the tables what I want. So I can just right click here in the canvas in the details block of the data foundation, add. It's going to show up a browser block where you can start selecting the objects what you want like to add was. Yeah. So this could, now let me just choose my tables, SAP dot HANA dot demo. So these are the tables. So I would like to use all these tables one by one. Address table, business partner, then I want products, then I want to use sales order header, item, then I would use the constants, then I would like to use the text here. First let's remove sorry. Let's take, sorry. I can add one table at a time, or I can also add multiple tables. Right click and let me add multiple. So what all you want? I want address, product, and then I want sales header, item. Then I'm going with text. These are the tables what I have added out. So I get to see all the table structure completely. Once we have the table, if you want to validate the data, you can just right click on this and say show data also. You can always see the data of the table. It will show me the table data from there also. Yeah. You can right click on this. You can see what all columns we can validate the structure of the table here. And if you want to see the sample data, you can always right click and say show data preview, which will show you the data. Yeah. Okay. Now I brought in all, there's still some tables which I might need, but for now I've just brought in all these tables. Now once I bring in all the tables into the data foundation, so I list out all the tables here, which I would like to use in building my model. Once I get this out, I would like to, now I need to establish the relationship between those tables. Yeah. Now how do I, so to establish a relationship, we need to start joining these tables out, right? Now first thing, let's go one by one. Let's finish up with the address. We have these two tables, address table and we have the business partner table, right? So I would like to join the information, join these two tables. Now, can you tell me which is the parent table from this? Means business partner will have the partners, and this will have the address ID here, which is the common one here. The name could be same or different. The data element must be same. So from this table, I would like to refer this address ID and join to this table based on this address ID here. Yeah. Now I can either do a drag and drop like this. You have got to see this screen here. You'll see this properties window. If I select this table, you see the properties of the table. If I select, see it says the so and so is a table name. This is the schema. There's a column type of table is column. Number of columns are 10. Yeah. You remember what is this enable history? You remember other day we've seen history enabled table, and this table is not of history enabled session. If I select a column, you get to see properties of the column, name of the address ID, what is the column name, what is the data type and length. So here I make sure even the column name need not be same, but make sure the data element is same. Then we can join them out. Yeah. So for joining, so you got from partner. When I see the partner table, I would have address ID, and from that address ID, I can jump to different table to get more details. So I would say partner table is like parent tables. Parent, let's say there are two tables. First recognize the parent table. అంటే ఏ టేబుల్ నుంచి వేరే టేబుల్కి వెళ్ళాలి అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్. Say I have business partner table. From business partner, if I need to jump in to get the details, I need to jump to a different table. So basically, business partner gives me all the information of the partner. For more details of this, I need to jump to a different table. So I would say business partner is a parent table, address would be a child bus. అంటే బిజినెస్ పార్ట్నర్ మొత్తం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటుంది. ఇంకా డీటెయిల్స్ కావాలి, డీప్ బోల్ అన్నప్పుడు అడ్రస్ టేబుల్లోకి వెళ్తాం. అంటే అడ్రస్ ఈజ్ లైక్ ఏ చైల్డ్ టేబుల్ టువర్డ్స్ మై బిజినెస్ పార్ట్నర్ టేబుల్. So from parent table, always when you want to do a drag and drop, from parent table, you try to drag it and join it to the child. Okay. So catch hold of the address ID from the parent table, which is your business partner table. Then drag and drop here. Just drag and drop and connect to this child. When I do this, look at this, it is actually formulating this join here. Look at this. The orange line is a join condition. But look at this, here it says, now when I select the join, it shows me properties of the join here. It says left, it is automatically taking which table is left table here. Look at this. It says left element is what? Your, what is this? Business partner table, parent table, and right table is your address table. So it says business partner dot address ID is one element, and address table dot address ID is another element. And we are joining both. What is this here? See, look at this. There are different join types here. I know we understand inner, left, and right, but there are two other new joins. Look at this: referential join and text join. We'll come back to joins later in detail. But for now, I just want to join it on the common values matching up. Only the matching values to be fetched. So can I go with inner join for now? Means what?
Yes.
For now, we'll just use inner, left, right because we know those. Yeah, let's come back to those others later. That is it, boss. I can establish a join like this with drag and drop. That is one way of doing it. Or other way of doing it is you can just delete this. Otherwise, you can just right click on the plain canvas and you get option as what? Create join. It opens up a create join dialog box. It'll have to space. Always join would have two operands, left table and right table. If it is left order join, makes importance of identifying which is a left table, what is your right table. But for me, I'm just going with inner join, so it doesn't mind. So first select the left table. I want it as business partner table, parent table. Right table, I'm going to select the child address table and select this address ID here. Right, you can just drag and drop this here. I can also do this way, and here I specify the type of join, whether referential, inner, or what. I'll go with inner join now. Cardinality, if you say business partner to address, can I say one address ID? I can have multiple business partner. So the cardinality will be what? There will be one customer belonging to multiple address IDs. I would say 1 to n. Or you can say validate join, which actually takes care of what. So it says cardinality is 1 to 1, not 1 to many, but I'm okay. If you want the cardinal to be fetched automatically, I can use this validate join, which will automatically recognize your cardinality. Okay, fine. Okay, like this you can go about joining those tables, and this symbol will tell you it is for one. It is the many relationship, 1 to many. That symbol tells you many. Like this, you can start joining those tables out. Yeah. Let me join again. Create join. Can I join from sales header? Can I join it to the business partner? Because sales header gives me the partner ID details. So from partner ID, I'm going to join this to this. Again, I would say inner. For me, I'm only trying to get the matching values. Validate the join. It says n to 1. Okay. Then I would like to join the sales header and item. I'll take the item table and header table. I can join both of them on the sales order ID, right, which is a common field. I would say inner join again. Then again, from sales item, I would like join to my product based on, because item level gives me the product information, so I would like to know, get the product joined. Again, I'm going with inner. Then from product to get the name, I need to get into join the product table. Select the product table and join to which table now? Text table, which actually gives me a name of the product. From which column should I join this? I have name ID. From the name ID, and if I join it to the text ID, and this text gives me the name of it. Yeah, name of the product. But if I now, let me just do this and try to analyze this now. Very important. If I join this name ID to this text ID, and I start referring this text column as my product name. Let's say I'm saying the join is, let's say, inner join bus. Yeah. Now if I say join type is inner join, then immediately the question here is, say for example, I have let's say I have product 1. Let's say the name ID is 1. In this text table, for the name ID 1, I've got, let's say, description made in 2 languages, English and German. Let's understand this. So in the product table, I've got, let's say, P1 and the name ID is 1. In the text table, say for the name ID 1, it's got, like, say, English, something like, say, book. For the same product ID 1, in German language, let's say it is something like, say, this is the name. Okay. Now, if I say join, based on this name ID, if I perform an inner join, we all know about inner join, right? Inner join will give you all the combinations. Inner join will result to you the common value, but does it give you all the combinations of it? Say this one is joined with this one, and this one is joined with this one. Yes or no? So you're going to get, like, say, for P1 as book, and for P1 as what, something. So is it going to create multiple combinations? Suppose for one product, if I have description made in 5 languages, it is going to create 5 combinations of the product. Everyone understand this point till here? If I just do an inner join between the name ID and the text table, if the text table maintains multiple descriptions in different languages, it is going to create so many combinations for me. You all accept with this? Yeah. So what I would prefer to do is, I would say now, first of all, from this table, if it has got multiple languages, I'll filter saying, I'll say filter this table saying where language is equal to E. Okay. So then what happens? Only this record will be selected with the filter. Then I'll join on this record with this. So I'll only pick up the English language records and then join with this one. So obviously you'll get only one combination of it, right? Accepted was. Yeah. Any doubt here?
Sir, that where combination before you repeat, can you please repeat that once?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, suppose I have 2 entries here. I've got for one name ID in this text table, the same name ID has got description maintained in 2 languages. One is E and one is D. One D indicates German, E indicates English. If I just do a normal inner join saying product table dot name ID is equal to text table dot text ID. If I join this, so I've got one here once and here I've got twice. So it joins with 2, it brings me 2 combinations. So every common value is joined with every common value, right? In case of inner join. So then it's going to create me two combinations, say P1 as book, P1 as AC, so on. So it is going to give me two combinations of the product in different description. Yeah. But that would basically double up my values. So what I want is, here I would like to refer it only for English language. So what I'll do, I'll apply a filter on this table saying language is equal to E, so that only these records are fetched from this table and this will not be referred. And now after fetching only the English records, then I'll perform a join, say 1 on 1, then it actually gives me only one result. So this since the second record will not satisfy the filter, this will not be considered for the join. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Is this clear, everyone? Yeah. Because of this filter being applied on this table, it will consider only the English language records. Then when I join this, it will have one to one, so it only gives me one combination of the product, one name for the product. Yeah. Is this clear? Yeah.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay. Now the next point of discussion is, okay, now I filtered it with English, it's fine. Now tomorrow I actually wanted with German, let's say not English bus. Then I need to filter with what? D. Then it fetches with D bus, right? But if I keep changing like this, it is not fine. I want to make this dynamic, saying, let's say there are 5 users. There might be 2 German users and there are 2 English users. If user 1 and 2, if user 1 and 2 logs in, then I need to pick up the description of what? English. If user 3, 4 and 5 logs in and tries to see the HANA view, I have to show him the German description. Yeah. You understand with this? So my requirement is not saying language is equal to D or language is equal to E. I would like to say language is equal to login language. Yeah, got this? You got this, boss? Suppose if in a user login, I would have the setting done saying for this user which language. For example, if you see, let me show you once. Any user you open, we can specify the language of it. Local and for example, if I select this connection and say properties, you see what is? So for this user connection, it is for every connection a session you establish, it will have a language there. Okay. So what I want is, I want this table to be filtered with the session language bus. Yeah. That's my requirement. Okay. So that is a scenario you go with text join bus. That is a scenario you go with what? Text join. Text join is what? It's like normal inner join on the columns and filtering the language column based on the login language. That is your text join. Yeah. So how do I do this? I'm using text join here because my one of the tables is going to hold description in multiple languages. So I'll select what? Product. I want to join this to what? Text. And the join condition is what? Initially keyword from name ID. I'll join this to text ID. Yeah. And if I just say normal inner join here, if I say normal inner join here, but please mute yourself, someone is unmuted, please. If I say normal inner join, and if this table holds description in multiple languages, let's say English, German, all this, it is going to give me multiple combinations for. So I've got two requirements here. I need to join these two tables based on the name to text ID, and also have to apply filtering based on the login language. So that is where I'll say, look at this now. I'll say join type as what? I'll say what? Text join. As soon as I say text join, it will ask me what is the language column, so that it will be filtered automatically based on the login language. If you remember what is the language column here, there is a column called language which is supposed to be filtered. Drop down and say language. Now look at this. Now when you say text join, it is like this. It is an inner join between product dot name ID is equal to text dot text ID and language and text dot language column is equal to login language. This is what text join. Now any issues here? See, this column name of
Sir, why?
it could be anything. In some table, the language column could be sparse if it is ECC table. In some table, it could be LANG, whatever it is, but you need to specify the column name which will hold the language value. So text join is used only for yes, exactly. Text join is only used for language identification only. Yeah. Now tell me any doubt.
Sir, what does this in the left column as well as in the right column we can see beside the field name as KB and some other icons? What does this resemble?
Which one? Which one?
Just where we are putting the join. So, for example, in the
Okay.
left column.
I'm just telling you whether it is alphanumeric field or what type of field is it. When you see AB, it is an varchar field. If you see this symbol, this is like date field. And if you see something like 1, 2, 3, it is an integer field. Yeah. You see? Twice you see 1, 2, it's a numeric field, whether numeric or alphanumeric or date fields. Yeah.
Sir,
Okay, sir,
text joins.
I'm just going off the track. I was just wondering, I mean, when we are doing the modeling in HANA, it only takes up the column tables. So, is it that we create row tables just for the sake of inserting data?
99.999% you will never create a row store table.
Achha.
We'll still create column store because column store can still handle the performance of writing because with its own concept of main store and delta store, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no row store.
Okay.
Yeah, next.
Oh.
Sir, text join means it's always an inner join? Is it automatically assumed that it is an inner join?
Yeah, it's an inner join filtered on the language column. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. But we are not specifying login language sparse can bring all language type. Yeah. See, if you have a table which is replicated from ECC, you will have sparse. But you might be doing modeling on any table, whether replicated from ECC or whatever it is. But here, in the language column, you have to specify a column which will have language in it. The column name could be anything. But for here, they've given a name exactly as language, but that could be any name. You have to specify the column name which holds the language values in it. That is what it is. Yeah. Okay. I have all the, now I can just arrange my tables so that it arranges all the tables. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Since this is an inner join, let's suppose we don't have a text maintained for a particular product.
Yeah.
So do we get that record?
Yeah, that's what. See, for now, understand that as inner join. Don't get confused. Even though you don't have an entry, it will still bring it. It is actually a left out, but don't get confused now. It'll bring it.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so I've got all my tables joined. Apart from this, if you remember, we also had a requirement to get to know the description of the closed or not. Yeah, for life cycle status. Or let's finish up this one product and then get back. Where is my product? It's on the left hand side. Okay, this is my product. You remember in the product type code where I see the values of this, it has got something like PR and it's got like PR and AD. But users would not understand AD and PR, so they need to get the description of it. So what I need to do is I told you there's another table called constants which gives you that information, right? So let me bring in the table, add. So let me bring in that constants table. Now from the product table, I would like to join. Now if you look at the constants here, I have something like domain value and all this stuff, right? To make sure about the product description, there are a lot of domains here maintained. For which domain values are we interested in? We're interested with this product type, right? D underscore PR underscore type, right? So this is what where it gives you the information about the product type. So what I can do, I'll apply a filter. So I will say right click. I want to apply filter on which one? So in the data foundation, I can also apply filtering also, right? Select this domain, right click. You get an option as what? Apply filter on this column. I would like fix the filter where equal to. You can use any operator. Equal to, not equal to, between, in list, not in list, is null, not null, less than, greater, anything, contains pattern, anything, equal to. From a single value, I'll just say equal to what? Can I say dr underscore pr underscore type? Okay, okay. See, you see this symbol indicating there is a filter applied on this. And when I try to see the data here, you have a table and dr underscore pr underscore type will give you, sorry, let go down. So I've just filtered only for, so when I say filter on dr underscore pr type here, just apply filter, product type typ. So now automatically this table will start giving me only these 4 records. So once it is filtered on domain, now I need to join this fixed value column towards my product type and get the description. Again, look at this here, it has got description in multiple languages. If I just do a normal inner join, does it going to give me all the combinations? It's going to increase the combination. So for each product type, it is going to create four combinations, which is not correct. So I need to join this fixed value to the product type based on the language. Okay. So again, what I'll do, right click, create join. I'll take the product table. I'll join it to what? Constants.
I have a doubt.
One second. Then what I'll do, from the product type code, I'll join it to the fixed value. And apart from this, I want that to be filtered on the language, like login language. They'll say what? Text join. Say what is the language column here? LANGUA. So I'll select this as the language. Now tell me any doubt here.
Yeah, sir, just if you can go back to the previous filter, you filtered like 4 based on the, is it based on the description?
Based on this domain name, yeah.
Yeah, based on the domain name, but it is varying based on the description or based on the product value or fixed value?
No. Actually, what they've done is say I actually wanted to have descriptions for product type, life cycle status, billing status, delivery, all this. Instead of giving a number of tables, they've given a single table as constants where they're going to maintain description of every field, every value. So to differentiate whether
So,
this is the key for which one, they maintained a column called domain. Yeah?
okay, I mean, which is the unique index that is being used? Which is the unique value? Is it product type or the,
Unique would be combination of all these three. DPR
okay,
type, fixed value, language, all these three will be unique combination.
all these three, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir. Got it.
So I'll say I again arrange the types. So I've got my product table. Look at this product table joined to constant as well as text also. It has joined to the text to get the name and it has joined to the constant to get the product type descriptions. Done, right? Now if you remember, I had another requirement. Even in the sales header, I've got something called life cycle status, which will give me X, P, N, C. I don't understand those codes. I want the complete description of those, right? Again, for this, again, I need to consider the constant table, constants table. Now the question is, I have already used, see, please unmute, mute yourself, please. Okay. Yeah. So So for life cycle state, if you look at this table, sales header, and preview this, it's going to give me lots of data like this here. You're going to get life cycle status as CEX, all those values. I want to get the meaning of those description for those fields from a constants table. The question is, did I already use this constants table in the data foundation already? Yeah. The constants table is already used in this foundation already, right? Now the question is, can I use the same table again in the data foundation? Yes. We can use one table n number of times in the data foundation, no problems. And every time you use the same table, it system automatically assigns an alias name. It has got a concept called, if I select this table and see the properties here, see, select this table, and what is the property? It says name is so and so. It's got something called alias name, right? There's nothing alias name here. Now let me try inserting that table again. Let's add. Take the constants table again. And where is that? See, it automatically is giving us of SAP underscore 1. What does it mean? If you select select this table, see, now it shows properties of this table saying table name is SAP underscore HANA underscore demo underscore utility constants, and alias name, it has taken a duplicate name. It is going to do another name for this as SAP underscore name. I can change this. This alias name is going to be this for life cycle status table, something. I can give a different name, alias name for the table. Yeah. So because of this alias concept, I can use same table n number of times into the data foundations. Now, if I look at this table,
Sir,
yeah,
sir, can't we join this particular constant to the particular life cycle table?
I have to join.
Whichever it is existing the content.
Yeah, if
constant table. When you drag and link it.
Yeah, see, if I join straight away without filtering, let's say, look at this now. Page down. See, I have X here, I have X here, X here, X here. In the life cycle status, we'll have X bus. Now that life cycle status X should be joined only with this X here, or all the X here. Tell me. The X in the life cycle status must be joined only to this value X, where my domain type is D underscore SO underscore LC only. Yeah.
Okay, now we need to do the filtering.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, yeah. Again, I'll have to do filtering.
Acha, okay.
So for joining, I only have to, for life cycle, I need only to consider this one, D underscore SO underscore LC only. So I'll say, so select this domain, right click, apply filter, equal to D underscore SO underscore LC. Okay. And then join this. Create a join from sales header. I'm going to join to this, which one? Constants life cycle status alias table, and join it from where? From life cycle status, I'll join it to this fixed value. Since I want this to be, since it will have multiple descriptions, I want to filter on the login language. Text join, and the language column is language. Done. Similar way, I need to get it for, let's arrange the tables. See, now my header is joined to this to get me the life cycle status. Same way, I need to go with billing status and delivery status also. So right click again, add again. I need to bring in the constants. So this time I'll give an alias name as not refreshing. So it is auto giving some alias name, but I'll say this is not SAP one. I can give my own alias name as billing status table something. Yeah. Again, let me join. Again, I need to apply filter on this. Yeah. See what will be for the billing status. We've seen this one, right? CF D underscore S1 underscore CF will be the domain for the giving you the billing status. So domain, right click, apply filter, D underscore S1 underscore CF. Okay. Then again, let me join. Create join. Consider your sales header table. Join it to the constants billing status table. Now this time I'm going to join the billing status to my domain to fixed value. And since it's going to be multiple descriptions, I'll say text join and the language column is language. Again, I want some to bring in my delivery status. Again, I want to get the meaning of the delivery status from the constants table again. Constants again. Select this. This is properties and close this out. So for this alias name would be, let's say, I'll say delivery status table. And now filter this on the domain, right click and filter. There's a separate domain which gives me the delivery status. This is D underscore S4 underscore OR. And now let me join it to the header again. Sales header, join it to my constants delivery status. Delivery status joining to this fixed values. And I'm going to say this is my, because it's going to join to multiple descriptions of different languages. I'll say text join language. And done. Same way in the item level table, I have something called remember we had something called item ATP status. So again, there's another domain which gives me information about this item status. Sales DSOI item level ATP availability to promise. Okay. So again, I need this constant table once again and say add. Your demo gives me constant table again. Get the table to the last. I would like to rename this as sales item ATP status table something. I can give my own alias name and I would like to apply filter so it gives me only those. Apply filter SOI ATP, then join this to the item level table. I'll take sales item table, joining to the item status table. Item status to be joined to my fixed value and it's going to be a multiple description. So text join and language column is this language. And then I can just arrange. I think pretty much I've joined all my tables. So we have established a relationship again. Now once it is done, so as part of data foundation like this, you can list out all the tables what you want. And we have to establish a relationship between those tables by performing a join. and we can also have an option of applying filtering on those tables. Now I would like to output, then now after this, from we need to list out the columns what to be projected out for reporting. Yeah. Say what all I need. So you can start selecting the columns from each of this table what you would like to project. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, these are the fixed values we are getting from the source, right? So instead of doing this manipulation in HANA view, if you're doing in BODS or SLT, so then performance is good, right? So these are the sources we know.
What manipulation you're trying to do? What do you want?
Here it is showing the status is I is cancelled, like that it is showing, right? That is I for each line item. If it is cancelled, we want user want to cancel status, right? Instead of a code,
Yeah.
we are showing as a cancel, right?
Okay.
So this
What I
calculation
understand,
in BOD,
the question what I understand what you're saying is, you're extracting from, while extracting from source through BODS itself, I can
yes,
join this I or X, whatever it is, to another table in BODS and replace that I with those exact names and load, right? That's what you're saying, right?
yeah, yes, yes, sir.
So nothing, you can do that, nothing wrong, because BODS is an ETL tool, right? You can do that, no problem. But the problem here would be,
Okay,
with what will you fill? For example, say you're getting a table with I, okay? And I give you another
okay,
lookup table that says I English equal to initial, I German equal to let's say something else. Okay. Now what with which language will you join?
oh,
How do you know whether there might be users of multiple languages? How do you know which user would log in and execute your view?
okay, okay. Language specific is difficult. So okay, yeah, got it, sir.
Because in the BODS you will never knew or you never know user of which language
Okay,
is trying to view the content of this view, right?
content of the yes, yes, got it, got it.
And that is one point to be considered. And one more point.
Sir,
One second.
Yeah,
Let me answer this question
at
completely.
the
And one more point to be considered is, now if you try to do a lookup table in the BODS and replace those I with some values, yeah. Now the problem will be, see, today I am feeling that I should be shown as initial, yeah.
okay,
Tomorrow, let's say you loaded some historical 1 lakh or 10 million records by using lookup table and replaced I with initial. Now tomorrow they change that this is not going to be initial, this is actually supposed to be new. I enter new one Marsaran. Then do you end up reloading all the 10 million records again
got
so
it.
that it executes the logic again? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, it need to execute. Yes,
So if I use this way, I have much more flex. If I just change my value here, automatically it gets reflected in the reporting with this new name. I don't have to reload any data. Even
yes,
that needs to
got
be
it, sir.
considered again. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Next question. Yeah.
uh, sir, see, if we load the data and if we do reporting, I mean, at the time of reporting, if we restrict the user language, will it be any problem?
Even say you want to join everything and then filter it on that language, right?
Yes, yes.
See,
So,
look
I
at the
mean,
question. Yeah, logical. Yeah, good, good. He is asking me, instead of using a text join, let's say there is a text table with say 100 languages, okay, and I'll do a normal inner join so that the view will give me data for all the languages, right? Then in the reporting, I'll have some variable or prompt where user will select the language so that only that language records are shown. Yes, that is what you're treating, right? That is what you're trying to ask.
yes, or based on user preference. I
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
You do whatever you want, whether user will enter the value or based on the user preference, dynamically you have an @ prompt function filling with user language or whatever it is you can do, or user is
yeah,
whatever it is. But if that is a
yeah,
case, now imagine I have a product name maintained with 100 languages. Yeah. Now if I do a join, all my transaction, because it is going to affect my transaction data also, all my records, all my fact data will be showing you 100 times of data. For example, if I have 1 million, it is going to give you 100 million records to the reporting. Then your filtering means what? I am using all my HANA engines to work on 100 million records, but for reporting it is just showing the user only for 1 million records. Is it
So
good?
that would be at the runtime, right, sir?
Will it not affect the query performance?
Oh, sir, joins will be at a dynamic level, right?
No, you say, no. The question was what? We'll build a view like this with all normal join. In the reporting, you'll give a prompt, right? If you give a prompt in the reporting,
Yes.
first of all the view is executed with all the languages, then it is filtered out, right?
Oh,
That is one.
yes.
So then what we can do is, you can say we'll use something called input parameter, which I'll pass the value from the reporting. So based on the value, the definition of the view changes. Like say here, instead of using text join, I can say like this: language apply filter
Yeah.
with en, e or d. So what you'll say, instead of fixing e or d, I'll go with an input parameter which can make this dynamic. So based on, let's say if he enters e, the table is filtered for e and then it executes it. If he enters d, it executes with d. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what we are doing with text join, no?
So one more question, sir. You said the user login, right? I mean login language.
Yeah.
So whose login? I mean at the time of reporting, or whose login language reference it is?
It will be at the time of reporting, whichever user is logging and trying to execute, that user comes out.
Achha, so only at the end user's login.
Yeah. Any user, see,
Yeah, it will be the
user could be what? Anyone who is trying to view this view content. Okay. It could be end user, it could be developer also. Okay?
So my question is how it will get reflected to the BO user.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if you have
BO report user.
BO user, you'll have HANA authentication, right? You'll have HANA authentication. See, there's multiple ways of using the BO components. If you look at the Design Studio, or if you look at analysis for OLAP, you'll straight away log in with HANA login, HANA user sits. Yeah? You don't need BO user. I'll show you. But if there is explicitly, if you're using WebB report, then that is a different case. Yeah.
Achha, okay. So I'm referring to maybe BO user.
If it is WebB BO user, then it has to be manually handled with a filter like that. Yeah.
At the rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Here, while creating analytical view, it is showing hierarchy, right? But you are telling hierarchies are not at all possible to create in analytical view, right?
Yeah.
So then why SAP has
given the tab you're saying? We'll see that.
Yes,
next case you will see that in attribute. See, I'm trying to show you a first case where I'm not using attribute views at all, only analytical view for entire scenario. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So the next case you'll see that when you create attribute view, you can create hierarchies, and these attribute views can be used into analytical views. When we do that, the hierarchies from attribute views will come into analytical views, but we cannot create hierarchies in analytical view. There's no direct option. One second. You cannot create hierarchies in analytical views straight away. Okay. But you can create hierarchies in attribute views, and I can use that attribute view into analytical view. When I do this, all the hierarchies what is being defined in the attribute view will be used into analytical view, and to show that that is a tab available there. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Right. Let me start selecting the columns what I need. Now you can just toggle this button. You can just click this button to select this. Then look at this. You have a block called in the right side output. This will start listing you out all the columns here. City. I want it as then what? Country. Then I want it as a region. You can select one by one like this. From this table, I'm only okay with this. From here, I can just even do it this way. Right click on the partner ID and then say add to output. I can do this way also. So I want company name, add to output. That's fine. Nothing else. Okay. From billing status table, I just want this description, which will be billing status out. I need to change this naming later. So look at this. In the data foundation, if I select this column, it shows properties of this column. Here I'll not be able to change any name. Okay. See, in analytical view, data foundation, I cannot change this column properties. Then I want, from here I want partner is already selected. Then I want sales order I'll take from there. I want, and I just want life cycle status, not this, sorry. Okay. This is only for joining. From here I take sales order ID, item ID, then product ID, then I want gross amount, net amount, tax amount, and then currency of this value. Then I want quantities and then unit. Then I want this description, which is giving you life cycle status description. And then I want this description, which is giving you delivery status description. This is why I want item level description. From the product, I'll take category, then I take nothing. This product type code I take from this, which is the description. And for this text, I'll take this product name. So that's fine. I think I have pretty much things. I also want to have this date, date when this sales order was changed. Okay, that's fine. Enough. Yeah, I'm okay with this. That's it, boss. You list out all the columns what you want as an output here. Okay, this is what you do in the data foundation. Now let me get to star join. In this case, I'm not using any star join here because I just have all my columns coming out from the data foundation. I'll show next case where I'm using the star join, where you'll consider these columns from the data foundation as your fact table, and you want to join to attribute views, giving them as dimensions. Then we go with star join. But here I'm not using any attribute views in this case, so I don't need the star join now. But I'll be using the star join of node for renaming of the columns here. In the data in analytical view, in the data foundation, I'll not be able to rename, but in the star join, I'll be able to rename those columns. Yeah. City, country, region, partner, ID is okay, company name. What is this? This is description, right? What is this description about from? Sana or negative person descriptions. We have something called description. Are there many descriptions? Description, 1, 2, okay. Let me get in. For first description, this is actually from which table? Billing status table, right? So I'll say that as billing status. Billing status. I'll rename this. Next one, description 1 is coming from life cycle status table, so that is the life cycle status.
So at the report level, we see the labels.
Yeah, labels. Description 3. Sales item status. This is description 4 from constants. This is your initial table of constants was without this. So what was that giving me? This is the one, and this is giving me product type. Yeah. Okay. I think this text is your product name. This will be changed date or something. Okay. Fine. If required, you can change anything. And I'm not using any star join because I don't want to join any attribute views. Let's see the next case. In the semantics, in the columns list, you get to see all the columns here. You see all these columns. There's nothing and there's no columns in the shared. If there's any attribute views you're referring, you'll get in the shared. That is one. And one more thing, apart from the columns, what is being selected from the data foundation, you can create your own calculate columns, restrict columns. We'll see that later. So you can also have columns referred from attribute views also. Now I have all the columns listed out from the foundation. Now I've got this. Now I need to specify the type here, whether it's going to I told every column will have two types, whether one of city is an attribute or not. Drop down, say attribute or a measurable. I'll say this is an attribute. Instead of specifying one by one, I can say auto assign here. So it takes care of what, look at this now. When it's auto assign, it says measures cannot be identified. Please specify what is it? Central table or measure you have to specify on your own. So what I have to do is now, very important point. If I go to this data foundation, how many tables am I using here? Around I'm using something like 12 or 13 tables, right? But I told you when you're creating analytical view, we can refer n number of tables, but measures can be referred only from single table only. Yes, yeah. We cannot refer the facts or measures from multiple tables. In the analytical view, we can have only one. Now, can I say item level table is a table where I'm referring the measures from gross amount, net amount, tax amount, quantity? Is it single table? Yes. But if you had a scenario saying like this, say I take keyword 1 from table 1, keyword 2 from table 2, not possible. In case of analytical view, we can refer measures only from single table only. If you want to build a model where you want referring measures from multiple tables, it has to be a calculation view only. Yeah. Now what I'll do is, for that reason, when we using multiple tables, I need to specify a central entity table which is considered to be the fact tables. I can do it here. Now look at this. I have a properties window, right? If I select table, it shows me properties of table. If I select column, it shows me properties of the column. Same way, when I select this data foundation block, it will shows me properties of this data foundation. Name is data foundation, label so and so. Okay. Now here it shows me list of all the tables what has been used. Now it is asking me to specify out of these tables which is going to be central entity table. Nothing but the table which is going to have measures in it. From it's nothing but it's going to be a table which is from where the measures have been referred from. Yeah, say what? One second. So drop down and I'll say sorry, which is the one item table. So like this, you can only refer measures only from one table only in analytical. Now I can say auto assign. System will assign this gross amount, net amount, tax amount, quantity as measures, and rest all is been assigned as dimensions. But I don't have anything, no, I don't have any columns in the shared because no attribute views has been used yet. This basic one, let's activate this. That's it. Now I'm not worried about any properties as of now. I'm just saying no hierarchies, no variables or no parameters. I'm just activating this view. Now when I activate this view, will it create some runtime objects in SysBig schema? Yes. Yeah. Let's see this. Let's go to SysBig schema. Okay. Sorry. Carl, what was your view name? ZAN cell 001, right? About 9 cubics. Filter ZAN. See 9 cubics PK. It automatically creates this column views for it. This is the OLAP catalog column views. This is the runtime objects created. Okay. Now I would like to do reporting on this view and see. So for reporting, I can use any of the reporting components in view. For now, I'm using OLAP analysis. Okay, Excel. Now get into business intelligence. Analysis for Excel. I'm choosing this analysis for Excel. Because this does not need any universe. This can connect. If it is HANA is a backend, I can connect to views directly. So I choose this menu, analysis, and say insert data source. Say select data source. Say skip this. Get to next screen and try to create a connection to your HANA bus. Say create new HANA connection. Say 9 cubics. Now host name, server name would be SAP Cubics, and the port would be your port. Now say, if you see what is the instance here, 01, right? So I told you, you've got to give access engine port 8001. So I told you 80 is fixed and 01 will be your instance name. That is where, and say authentication basic is okay, create. Now just choose this connection and say next here. And I'm logging with HANA user here, not the BO user. Yeah. Now it will show the folder. It will show the packages as folders. I'm interested in this 9 cubics PK. Expand this models and this my analytical view. Say okay. Sorry. There's already something written in the text cells. This analysis. I'll just take blank workbook, then data. So which is already connected, I can choose this connection directly. Yeah. Now I get gross amount, net amount, tax amount. Now I want to go with what? Say region wise. Then I want country. Sorry. Region. It's more like a pivot now, region, and I want country. I want to see about something like city wise. City, okay. Okay. Let's say I'm interested only in some um, life cycle status orders where it has been completed. I can say life cycle status, filter members, filter by member. I just want to show only what is been what closed. Then automatic filter is applied. I can apply filtering like this. And I want to remove the sub results. Right click and say totals, hide. And even for country, I don't want those totals to be shown, hide. And this is it. This is how you can start doing reporting on this. Let's say I don't want all this. I want like to have the reporting done on uh, product. I'll say product category. I'll take it. Based on the product category, I get this. So this is how I can start doing reporting on this. So did you understand about modeling now what I was been doing? Any doubts?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, Vivo user and HANA user, both are different or same, sir?
No, no. See, there are some BO tools which can be integrated directly to HANA without universe. Yeah. Say now your OLAP analysis for Excel. Yeah. This can be integrated directly without any universe straight away. This can be playing on HANA. Like Design Studio. Design Studio is again a reporting component, which is it's not exactly a BO component. It is a component which can be integrated with directly to HANA or as a component of BO or as a component of BW NetWeaver. So those are generalized tools now. So in those cases, I don't need any BO users. Okay, straight away I can use HANA users to log in to work on that. And I can use this analysis for Excel or Design Studio as if they are the front-end tools for my HANA database without BOE, without Business Objects Enterprise server. I can use these tools as if these are the tools for my HANA database, front-end tools of HANA database. Yeah.
Right, sir. Actually, my question was related to the earlier discussion um, on the language join, the text join. So we have a scenario like we have created a text join attribute in HANA, and we are trying to reference it in HANA's BO. We have created a universe and we are creating a web report.
Yeah.
So how does system know whether it is a German user or the English user?
That's what I
At the
told
BO
him.
level.
So that is what, if you're accessing through WebB and Universe, then we'll go with the concept called input. We'll filter this on the language, not the text join. What I'll do here, I'll say right click. I'll show you one. We'll create an input parameter IP underscore lang, something say day type or varchar say something 3. I'll go data foundation. Instead of going with the text join, I'll say I'll also create a filter on my language, not fixed values, input parameter IP lang. Okay. Now whatever the value now if I try to see the content of this view, I need to pass in a language value for this E. Now it will show me English database. Okay. There may be some table where I'm referring. Okay. What was the table I applied filter? What was this for? Billing status. Okay. Okay. It shows paid and initial, right? Let's try to now if I try to execute this saying D, okay, you look at the billing status, it gives you, where is that billing?
left side was empty.
Left. See, now it does not give because there's nothing in. I think there might be no German for that. If you go to constants, this is CF. It is D, right? Yeah, yeah. I know why it is happening because we also have text join. No, remove the text join. Make it as normal inner join. Since I'm applying filter on the language, I don't need text join. So again, normal join would be fine. If I give it as D, then I should see the filter applied on D, and you should see billing status as అన్నిటికీ ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతున్నట్టు. It is affecting because I need to start changing everything now.
Earlier filter we have to remove, right, sir? Billing language.
I've removed, no? See, this is like another filter, that's it, okay? Well, let's not disturb this view again, but you understood the concept, right? We'll give this input
Yes, sir.
parameter
Yeah.
here. Then in the BO, in the universe, I'll say, I'll use an @prompt function and pass value to this parameter. So I taken a parameter value as a language and pass that language value to this input parameter. So only for that language it executes a view and gives you result. Yeah, we'll see that in next classes. We'll see that.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thanks.
But if I'm having the tools which is touching my view directly, then I can use this text joins. That's why if you see, I'll show you something. You'll have something called HANA Live. Okay. When I say HANA Live, these are the ready-made views delivered by SAP. If you get into this HANA Live, HANA, not HANA, HBA, I got ECC, just take some view. Even the standalone, they do that variable with language, okay? So that anyone can sales contact something. Reporting को అయితే see, he is using it for client here because there is no text, but because you remember your tables will have mandate client, then depending on client what he is given a variable here. So when you use this in the reporting, you'll pass in the mandate value whatever you want and get the results. Lang కూడా ఉంటుంది ఎక్కడో some text one. Group. You'll see a lot. So you'll see that they use variable concept. Then we can make it dynamic. నీకు అక్కడే చూపించగలుగుతాను. What I'll do, I'll remove all those. Then instead of disturbing this view, I'll get to this. Remove this filter. Make this as back to text join. Why is it taking so much time? Activation is done. Just to show you that effect model, I'll just try to let me create a copy of this. Let me not make it. Because if I need to do change to everyone, so instead of doing, I'm deleting all those so that I can just affect only one just for our reference. Because otherwise I'll have to sit and change all this. Do the status table, then because any one join, it will automatically filter everything out. So now there's nothing. Now I'll create an input parameter. I make sure this is not a text join anymore. Let's see, it is normal inner join. Filter my language with that input parameter what has been given by the user. Okay. Is there any other table except billing status? Because if I have other tables, that will start filtering them out because of the join. Now activate. Now let me continue. Let me say, you say D. You get to see billing status. Look at this initial basalt. Okay. That is a German description. If you give it as E, you'll get it as English initial and what is this? Initial and what? Paid. So now I've got to make it dynamic and I'm passing this value manually, right? Now when I use this into the BO universe, you will have to pass value. You should make sure you pass value to this input parameter. You will say select star from this view with placeholder IP_lang equal to @prompt function in, and whatever the way you want to fill that @prompt. So the value from the @prompt will pass into this parameter and then the way executes only for that language and gives you. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing is like BO is language specific, sir, like German book language. That you could.
You mean in BO? Yeah, it supports multiple language, no? Yes.
Okay. So based on the user language, login language basis, is it not possible to pass it dynamically?
Yeah, you see in the @prompt function there will be a lot of you can use some lot of system variables like BO user, or they might maintain some table where it says for this user this is the language. Then from the BO user you pick up that language from there and assign. It could be any logic you want. Yeah. See,
Okay.
I'm not worried on how the @prompt variable is filled with the language. Take care about a prompt, filling a language, and assign that prompt value to this input parameter. This will solve your language, whatever you want, you'll get that. Yeah.
Right, sir, got it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other doubts, boss?
Sir, when
Sir,
we are
I have
talking
one
so much
one.
about BO, does
No,
it
listen.
refer to the
Listen.
reporting tool?
When the voice is breaking, sorry. What is it? What is it?
I was saying when we are talking so much about BO, so does it refer to the reporting tool?
Yeah,
I
reporting.
mean, are we looking into the reporting tool
Yeah.
aspect?
Yeah, reporting.
Yes.
Uh, Sir,
Yeah.
yeah. I have one question regarding this joining multiple times of the content.
Same table using multiple
Hello.
times, yeah?
Yeah, because we are trying to use the same table and trying to join multiple times by dragging it or
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it.
Alias table, yes.
Instead of that, can't we do it with a single one and make it join to all the tables?
If I do that, if the constants are different, I can do. But here the problem is for billing status also I have constant as I and P. For delivery status also I have constants like I and P. Then if I do that way, it will increase my combinations, which is wrong.
So that means there are a kind of duplication variables which refers to the same kind of
Yeah.
text. So
Exactly,
that
exactly.
we are trying to drag multiple times.
Exactly.
Can be achieved through script also, sir? Just wanted to understand.
Yeah.
Will that be possible?
Exactly, yeah. I told you, you can create three types of views, right? Attribute view, analytical view, calculation view. And within calculation view, you can implement scripting also. Yeah.
But not in analytical or
No.
attribute view.
In attribute view and analytical view, you can't write scripting. Yeah. Only in calculation view, we have the option of writing scripting. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So any other doubt, boss? Okay. So I'm going to stop it here and let's have class tomorrow also. Let's have class tomorrow also, boss. Okay. Anyway, it's tomorrow is Sunday, right? Let's have class tomorrow also. Yeah.
Same time, sir?
Yeah, same time. Yeah.
Okay.
And the person who is facing problem with internet in hostel, so try going to the institute and get connected from there, no? You can use it, the internet connection in the institute, you can use it.
Sir, someone
Yeah.
trying to ask you to unmute it. She or he wanted to ask few questions. Please keep on typing you.
Okay. Yeah, I've unmuted. Now you can mute yourself or open up. Yeah. It is not, it's not possible, sir, tomorrow.
Sir, I actually have some questions.
Yeah.
In today's scenario, actually you haven't used attribute views, right?
No.
But actually the address table which you have,
Yeah, tomorrow's in next scenario when I'm
no,
tomorrow, I'll be
actually,
using attribute views. Yeah.
okay, actually the address table which you have used today in today's scenario, will it come under attribute view because in analytical views you said only transaction tables we would be using them in analytical views
I
and all
told
master
you,
tables.
what is the point? In analytical view, you can use n number of tables, but measures can be referred only from single table only.
Okay, so attributes views main purpose is only for creating hierarchies, or else we can directly use
And
analytical.
reusability, you'll have reusability. For example, what are the joints I made it for a product or a business partner in this tape, in the view, analytical view. If I need the same thing in another view, again, I need to rebuild the same joints again.
Okay.
That is one. And modularizing the joints. Yeah. I can separate these joints and combine them. And one more thing, formulate using a star join view. That's what we'll see tomorrow. What makes a difference when I use attribute views. Yeah.
And then these cardinality and then the joining type, are they mandatory? I mean,
Yeah.
do we need to select the cardinality?
Exactly. If you need to relate two tables, join is mandatory and cardinality is not important, but during the validation of the join, system will determine the cardinality automatically. You don't have to worry on that.
Okay, and for the type of join, are there any like specifications how we would be joining? Or else if we want columns from left,
Exactly.
we would be going for left.
First we'll be going through the modeling. Then I'll get into details of making you understand about all these types of joins. What is what? Yeah.
And actually, you have shown how to select the central table, right? I mean, can you just show me that once again how you have chosen the main table?
If you go to data foundation, yeah, make sure you select this node data foundation. Then in the properties window, you have this here, central entity. Look at this. If you select the table, you will not find that. Make sure you select this node data foundation and you get this property central entity. Yeah.
And one more question, like today you have used alias tables, right?
Yeah.
In one case you have filtered on delivery status and in another case on some other status.
Yeah.
But usually in real time we would be having different tables which carry all these status,
Yeah.
right? For
Yeah.
delivery
Yeah. Yeah.
status
Mostly,
and all.
yeah. Mostly you'll have different tables, but this is a demo scenario for
So,
training. We have used this table, so it has got single table with all those domain values here.
okay. So in general, when would be using this alias table?
When we want to use the same table multiple times, we use this alias, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. That's
So
it.
for example, even in this scenario, apart from those constants, I'm using this partner table to join my partner information, right? Let's say from the product also, let's say I have this product table. Here also I got supplier ID, and I want the supplier ID to be joined to partner again. So if I join this to the partner table, then again it's going to form out a loop. We don't have concept of looping, chasm trap, fan trap, all this. Straight away it is all solved. Whenever you want to use the same table again, it has to be a alias table. Nothing but same table used again. Yeah.
Okay, and the text joins which you have spoke about today, we generally use to provide description to some table,
Yeah.
and then we can filter on the language column. I mean,
Exactly.
whichever language we want, we can filter.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Thank you.
If you use
Thank you so
text
much.
join, by default filtering is done on the login language. And if you want to explicitly do filtering, you can also apply filter, explicit filters.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, we don't have that C functions, notepads, history tables and all. Can you
I'll send to
check the in note?
I'll send to
Yeah.
Yeah. History tables and what? CE functions.
CE functions. Yeah.
See, your CE functions will be there in that stored procedure set. No, you don't have it.
No, sir. We have checked everything, sir, but we didn't get that one.
Okay. Okay. Okay, boss. I'll do that. I'll send today. Yeah. Anything else? So tomorrow we'll have class on the same timing. Okay, fine. Yeah. Let's catch up what we missed already. Yeah. What is it? Yeah.
Sir, can you show connection to the reporting tool once again? I missed it.
Reporting tool. డౌట్ అడగలు కానీ రెండోసారి అడిగితే ఎట్లా పోయా? This is it. I'm using this analysis for OLAP Excel.
Okay.
Just to cross-check by view. Because tomorrow when we see lots of options, for every option I should see that effect in the reporting, right? For that, okay. Analysis, insert source, select data source, first say skip, and then here you got to create a connection if there is now nothing available. Give your server name and 80 and your instance. 80, if it is instance is 00, then 00. If it is 01, say 01. And here it is host name. Yeah?
It's instance of HANA server, right?
Yes, yes. Ante kada. If my instance,
Okay.
I showed you here instance is what? 01. So the port what you get connected is will be 8001. So once you select this connection, it will ask you for the user login for HANA. This is not a BO. This is HANA login. Password is fine.
Okay, fine, sir. I understood.
Okay. This is the latest version for analysis Excel where it asks you for HTTP connection. For the old one, it will ask you for the ODBC connection. That's it. Yeah.
Sir, in real time, all the reporting tools will be prefixed connections also there, right? So no need to connection like this.
Yeah. Because you'll already see this is for use. When you say insert data source, it's automatic. But say I create a connection, right? You'll not create connection every time. If I don't
Yes.
create connection now, you'll ask me how did you get that? So for that reason, I created one connection for your batch and then I'm using that. Otherwise, once you have the connection to HANA, I can access any number of views. Okay.
Okay.
That is one. Yeah. That is it. Tomorrow we'll meet up again for a continuation of this. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.